Hey everyone again out in YouTube land, Craig here from Flying Wheels in Danville, New Hampshire. Today is one of those days where I like my job because for the past few weeks I have been driving a 2016 Cadillac Escalade ESV. This truck is amazing, and here's why this vehicle is the absolute king of the road. First of all, I'm going to start off by saying if you haven't already subscribed, make sure you click that subscribe button down below. If this video is at all entertaining or useful to you, give me a thumbs up. After this video, next week, I'm going to do a video on why I hate this vehicle. So I've been driving this vehicle for 2 weeks already. I'm still learning the car because there's so much to know about it, but I have found a lot that I do like and a lot that I don't like. So this is the video on everything that I found about this vehicle that I do like. Next week will be a video on everything I strongly dislike because there's plenty of those items too, so keep your eyes open for next week for the next video. First off, let's just start by saying how amazing this front end is. It's absolutely stunning. Just looking at it, I feel like I'm driving a vehicle from the future. Look at the headlights, all LEDs with 5 projection bulbs, LEDs on the sides, LED fog lights down on the bottom. Everything about this vehicle, even though it's 2018 and this is 2016, is still up to date, brand new, and unbelievable. It is giant from the front end, so looking at it from here, it looks like an army tank, almost something from Judge Dredd, the movie. Everything is very square on it, square body and sharp edged. Going around the side, this is the 20-inch wheels, not the 22-inch wheels, and although the 22-inch wheels do make it look amazing, the 20s still fill up that wheel well really, really well. Tons and tons of chrome all around it, but not too much chrome. Chrome trim all around the doors, chrome trim around the mirrors, chrome trim on the door handles and the body. What's nice is it's not overdone, even though there is chrome everywhere. So a lot of times you'll see chrome mirror caps, chrome pillars. It's almost too much. This one's tastefully done with just the right amount of chrome all over the car. I'm actually kind of happy that this has the standard step instead of those fold-out steps. The fold-out steps are a really nice touch, but if they don't get used too much or the salt, they don't get lubricated, they start to freeze down or up. Up, it's hard to get into the car. Down, they look a little tacky driving around with your steps stuck down. Like this one, perfect example of what I was talking about. Way too much chrome and the step is stuck out. Over to the back side, the taillights are gigantic. Look at the size of these things. And they go all the way up the sides on both sides and they both light up. I can't even imagine how much it costs to replace these things if they ever break. So let's just hope you don't ever have to replace them. It does have backup sensors as well as a backup camera. And the other thing too is just touch button open, which is really helpful for those moms with groceries and kids in their arms. Instead of the manual third row folding seats, this has a push button third row seat, which is pretty helpful because now I'm not leaning over into the vehicle to fold that third row seat because there is a big gap from the bumper all the way to that seat. So if I just push this button, I don't even have to hold it anymore, which is what you used to have to do in some of the cars. It will fold down automatically just with a push of a button. Now, again, instead of having to hold this button up and let it happen the whole time, I just push this button now and it will fold up on its own. The other thing that's nice too is this push button hatch. Just push the button and it closes on its own. The other thing you can do is from the key, if I push it twice here, it'll pop the glass open, push it here, and hold it, it'll open the third row, or I can close it by pushing it twice. I absolutely love the third row captain's chairs. Just makes it a lot easier for my oldest son to get in the back so he can climb right in. Instead of climbing over a bench seat, he crawls right in the middle and gets into his own comfy spot. And my kids both have their own armrests and their own seats. They can't reach each other and they can't fight and argue and hit each other. Another thing my son liked about this third row that he pointed out to me is the headrests. Fold up on both seats. He really liked that. It folds up flat and then it just pushes down pretty easily. Another great option is the optional charger for the back side. It does not have it on both sides. It only has it on this side. And I noticed that it doesn't have an electric outlet, so you can't actually plug anything in. There are cup holders and storage everywhere. So this is the passenger or the driver rear door. You'll see there's cup holders and storage for all their items, which is actually almost too much for my kids because they can fill all these up with garbage. Here you have some storage for, I don't even know what you'd put in there. Oh, there's your outlet here and your phone charger there. One of the items I'm not too fond of is this seat right here. My kids really enjoy kicking this hard plastic seat because it makes a lot of noise for them, which I guess is fun. If you know anything about the GM LS engines, you'll really appreciate this thing. 6.2 liter V8, 420 horsepower, 460 foot-pounds of torque. It'll tow 8,300 pounds. Unbelievable vehicle, and driving it on the highway last week, I got 19.8 miles to the gallon. So it's a 20 mile per gallon, 420 horsepower beast of an engine that typically goes 200 to 250,000 miles commonly. So it's pretty common for these things to go 250,000 miles problem-free. And these LS engines are the same blocks that they use in the Corvettes and the Camaros, all the Chevy pickup trucks. Some have aluminum blocks, some have cast iron blocks. They're all the same design. These LS engines are bulletproof, amazing, so powerful, get great gas mileage, easy to swap into race cars, and they throw them in the Cadillac Escalade, which is an army tank of an engine in an army tank of a vehicle. The other thing I like is the remote starter. First of all, this is keyless entry, so you don't even need the key to plug in and turn it. You just keep it in your pocket, you touch the button on the door, you get in, you push the button, and everything starts. It's great, easy, hassle-free. What else I do like is the remote starter. So on the old GM vehicles, it was a little tough to figure out. You'd have to push the lock twice, and then you'd have to push the remote starter twice. With this one, all I have to do is lock it twice and hold the starter button, and it starts up on its own. Walking up to it, the car is locked. All I do is push the button, it unlocks, and I can get in. You gotta check out this dash when I close the door. It impresses me every single time. First thing I noticed right off the bat, there are tons of buttons everywhere. It might not look like it with the car off because everything is blacked out. You can see even the dash and instrument panel looks pretty basic when it's not on, but all I'll do is start the car and you can see how much lights up, how many options this vehicle has, which is a nice luxury. It's almost too much for me. We have power door locks, which actually took me a little while to find. I have folding mirrors on both sides. Well, there's 3 buttons. So what do all 3 buttons do? All right, so we have our folding mirror, we have our left and right mirror, our power windows, and these are child safety locks right here. So I can hit the child safety lock automatically to lock the rear doors so the kids can't open them from the inside, as opposed to the older vehicles where you have to go open the door and manually switch the lock for the child safety locks. We have automatic lights. What I really love is the optional 4x4, the electronic 4x4 this year, instead of all-wheel drive. So the older Escalades were always all-wheel drive. There was no 4x4 high, low, and auto, which I'm really, really pleased about because I never liked how it was just an all-wheel drive option. On the steering wheel, we have the voice commands, phone commands. Heated steering wheel is amazing. Channels, volume, and our selector. You can see how much is going on in the dash. So all of it's an LED display. You can push the button down to get your options for the radio to the left. Then if we push here, we have our speedometer controls. You can change there. And then push one more over, we have our options on the tachometer. So it goes just to the tach, to the miles per gallon, average miles per gallon, compass. It'll show your navigation up there as well. Let's go to this. Now this display took me the full 2 weeks to figure out, and I'm still learning. We have pedals here, up and down. Suspension, I'm not really sure what it does. It does have a suspension button. Let's check this out. How do you open your glove box? There's no glove box handle. Took me a little while to figure this out. So how do I open the glove box? Oh, right here is push a button. Now, while I'm on that subject, if you'll notice how easy it was when you push that glove box button, all of this is touch sensitive, just like your phone. So you just touch a button. You don't actually have to push it. It'll sense your touch, and everything is on, off, which is kind of nice. On the volume buttons, I do notice that I have to push a little. Well, see, there I didn't have to push harder. Volume down isn't working so well, so I do have to push that a little bit harder. There is so much happening on this phone screen. So let's go to home. We can go to audio. Now, all of those channels, you'll see the phone button, the compass, the weather, text. We can go to media and hook our phone up to it. Let's go back to the home screen. We hit home. All right, so we have our audio, phone settings, projection. If you have a USB connected projector, somehow, I'm not sure how it works, will project something somewhere. No idea what it is, but if I hit it, it will say device not connected. To use this feature, connect supported device to USB. So does it have a projector somewhere? I really have no clue. If you guys know, let me know down below. It does have navigation, Pandora. Now check this out, weather. It will give me a 5-day weather forecast right up here. So that's pretty neat. Go back to the home screen. We can hit this. There's your channels. Go back over here. Camera, OnStar, text, climate control. I do have to show you one of my favorite things about this car. Dire Straits is on. This stereo system is amazing. I hope it sounds as good to you as it does to me because it feels like I'm in a concert. Even down to the wood grain trim. You got wood grain here, leather wrapped everything. And then as if that's not enough, you have suede line accents all over the vehicle. Dash, door, everywhere else. Now looking up here, as I told you before, you can open the hatch from the remote and the push button in the back, but you can also do it from here, push button right here. You can close it as well. The other thing you'll notice is I can turn it 3/4 or off, so you can open it. And then here's your lighting controls and your home link, which is your garage door openers, storage for your sunglasses, and if storage for your sunglasses isn't enough, you can actually have a mirror to spy on those kids back there. The whole vehicle is Wi-Fi enabled, which you pay for your service, but if you are paying for that Wi-Fi service, you can have a Wi-Fi hotspot for your kids to use their tablets, and you can listen to your Pandora radio and everything from the vehicle. This just amazes me every single time I use it, but I gotta show you because I'm unbelievably impressed with it. The vehicle does have backup camera and backup sensors, front parking sensors, collision sensors. If I put it in reverse though, yes, it has the backup camera that we're used to, and it will turn to guide me where I want it to go as I'm turning the steering wheel. But better than that, it has a 360-degree camera. I have absolutely no idea how it does this, but you can see me backing up. I'm not looking at anything other than my camera right now. It shows me the white lines. Now, these are real white lines in a parking spot. That's not just made up for the camera screen. So here you can see me correcting myself into the white lines. Obviously, this is a big vehicle, but that just made it so easy and simple for me to park my car. I can see the camera on this side. I can see how the orange changes in the direction I'm turning based on how I'm turning my steering wheel. And also I can see that I'm perfectly centered in my parking spot as far back as I need to go based on that magical 360-degree camera. I have absolutely no idea the purpose of this, but I am going to show you. All of these doors, typically a door will open to right here. This door opens 90 degrees. So you can see the door is open 90 degrees. Why? And what purpose does that serve? I have no clue. I guess just because it's one extra added option the Cadillac can offer you. All right, let's talk about why this vehicle is the absolute king of the road. I have driven Navigators, I've driven the Infiniti Qs and the MLs and the BMWs. I've been in all of these luxury vehicles. This Escalade is by far the best driving, the most comfortable. The seats are plush, the ride is smooth. I've been in the Mercedes and BMWs and the rides are really stiff. This truck, it doesn't feel like I'm driving a truck, first of all. Everything is easily accessible. All the buttons are easy to reach. I really enjoyed driving this car, and I didn't feel like I was driving something gigantic, even though it is, I think, the biggest car you can buy for the road. All the Mercedes and the BMWs and the Sequoias and even the Land Cruisers aren't as long as this car. With that being said, this car is not for everyone. This is high class, look at me car, all right? Everywhere I go, somebody makes a comment. It is really nice, and it makes a statement. So if you want to make a statement, this car is for you. If you do not, step down to the GMC Yukon Denali XL or the Suburban LTZ. The Yukon Denali XL has everything you could ever want. The Escalade is just a step above with too much. It's almost like GM said, let's give you the Yukon Denali XL, everything you'd ever need and love. What's above that, stuff you don't need, throw it in the Escalade. That's what it is. And then the Suburban LTZ has everything as well, and it's nice and it's comfortable. It drives the same. It's just not an Escalade. So if you want the Escalade feel and the Escalade look and the high class appeal, this is the vehicle for you. I dropped my kids off at the school line today, and I felt like I was the king of the road, and when I pulled up, all the teachers said, oh, what a nice, beautiful car. That happens everywhere I go. On the other side of it, though, people will have their opinions about you and your new fancy Escalade. So that's my review on why I love the new Cadillac Escalade ESV. Hopefully it was helpful. If this video was at all entertaining, helpful to you, or gave you any knowledge or insight into purchasing a new Escalade, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe down below, and you can follow us on Instagram at flying_wheels_. Thanks a lot, everybody. Stay tuned for my next video on why I hate this car. Thanks, everyone. See you later.